Okay, welcome to part 2 of growing your YouTube channel with paid ads. So using YouTube ads to accelerate the growth of your channel. Now, in part 1, I explained the strategy. In part 2, we're going to be going through the exact setup. Now, I'm assuming that you've already set up your Google Ads account and you have linked it to your channel. If this is not the case, I will put a link to the video above where I'll show you exactly how to create a Google Ads account and how to link it to your YouTube channel. But assuming you've got everything set up, I'm going to take you through the exact setup, the easiest setup to get started with Google Ads and YouTube ads to grow your channel. Now, I will put a link below this video to more free training on do's and don'ts for this, as well as how to script your videos properly and get access to our Facebook group for additional support in case you have any questions as we start moving through this. So the first thing you're going to see when you come into here, chances are if you followed the setup guide, you won't have any campaigns here. But what you're going to want to do is make sure that you are in your all campaigns section. It says campaigns here, and then you're going to want to click the plus button and click New Campaign. Then you're going to want to ignore most of Google's advice here. We're going to want to do it very manually. We're just going to target other channels. We're going to target our competitors' channels because we believe their subscribers are going to like our videos as well. So this is going to be the easiest way for us to get started. So click on Create a Campaign without a goals guidance. Then click Video. Then leave this as Custom Video Campaign. Click Continue. Name your campaign. We'll just call this Test Campaign 1. I'm going to copy that to use later. Leave this as maximum CPV. That means maximum cost per view. Come down. I recommend that you don't leave a campaign total. Campaign total means your ad will run until the budget is gone, and then that's the end. And you can't really change that later on. So I find it better to create a daily budget. And as I'm going to be targeting 2 different channels, and I want to see how each of them do. My budget is going to be roughly, I'm estimating £2.50 or $2.50 for you per channel that I'm targeting per day. So I'm going to use a budget of, say, £5 or $5 in your case. So just make sure you monitor this because Google will keep spending it until you pause the campaign or turn it off. And once done, I'm going to close that. I'm then going to want to turn off video partners on the display network. This is never good traffic. This is all the other channels outside of YouTube and ones that Google advertise on. I don't want that general traffic. It's normally very bad quality. What I want to do is target the search results, and this is going to basically be suggested traffic. So suggested traffic on channels or at the side. This is going to bring in most of the traffic. If you only target search, it will be more targeted people, but you'll get very, very small numbers of views. You won't spend your budget and you really will struggle. So yes, you could just do this, but I recommend leaving both on. Close that down. Target probably a number of countries to make sure you've got enough volume there. Obviously, you're going to want to target the countries that speak the language that your video is in. So I've selected Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, United States. But if you feel your audience is big enough, this is the type of subscribers I want, and they're English speaking. So I want to target people in those countries. But you can select any other countries that you want, and I'll leave that to you. Literally, select your own country, all countries, or then enter the ones that you want here and just keep adding them. I'm going to close that down. I'm going to leave it as English because my video is in English, but you can select a different language if your video was in a different language. I'm going to select expanded inventory. This is basically for advertisers that feel a bit sensitive about videos that come before. So say you are doing your skippable 5-second ad or you're doing discovery ad. You don't want to be near videos that are maybe a little bit risky or swearing, but we're not Disney and we're not Coca-Cola that's trying to be perfect here. I really don't want to judge the subscribers and what they're watching. That's totally up to them. I don't care about that. That's their business. I just want to target as many people as possible, so I'm leaving it as expanded. Close that down. Exclusions. I like to exclude embedded videos and live streaming videos as people are less likely to click on an ad and leave, I feel, in my humble opinion, on someone else's website or on a live streaming video. Also, content not labeled. Again, I'm not so worried if content is not labeled. I'd rather show my videos to as many people as possible. It's completely up to you. Close that down. Advanced settings. Now, I'm going to leave conversion levels as it is. I'm not going to target anything differently. I'm going to put on targeting different devices. Now, what I recommend is that you always turn off TV. TV is always a waste of traffic for me in terms of using YouTube ads, unless you're just going for very general pre-roll videos that no one can skip anyways, and you've got a massive budget like Coca-Cola, total waste of time. So always turn off TV screens. And then frequency capping. I only like to show my video to 5 people per day. So anybody that sees my video thumbnail and title and doesn't click on it and they see it 5 times, I generally think, okay, you're not interested. And after me showing it to you 5 times, you're probably not going to watch it. Same goes for getting them to watch it. I don't want them to watch it more than 3 times. By then they would have either subscribed, saved the video, but I think me paying to show them the video 3 times is probably more than enough. Again, completely up to you. Maybe you just want to show it to them all day long. I'm now going to paste that and add the ad group. So what is an ad group? Ad groups are basically who you're targeting. They're like your audience. So in this example, this is going to be the different channels that we're going to create a different ad group for. So we're going to create 2 ad groups. One, in this case, for Neil Patel. I want to target channels that are quite big and very targeted to what I'm doing. I'd like to go for somewhere around 1 million. And then I'm going to do this one, which is Think Media. They've got a good size audience. Again, between the 2 channels, we're looking at somewhere around the sort of 2 million plus mark, which is great. And then I'm going to come down. So literally the ad group part here only is just who I'm going to target. So we're going to ignore all of this part. You could change some of the demographics if you didn't want to target male, female, or certain age groups, but I'm going to leave that on as is for the moment. Audiences, we're not going to worry about any of that. Keywords and topics, not going to worry about any of that. As I said, more advanced stuff we could teach you would be different targeting methods using those, but for now we're just going with the most easy of targeting our competitors' channels. I'm going to come down. What you're going to want to enter here is 0.05, so 5 cents or 5 pence per view that I'm willing to pay. And then you're going to want to come down, and I'm going to copy a video link. Now this would be your video that you'd be copying here. I'm just going to take a video from this channel for the sake of this video and paste that here. So the ad that you want to, the video you want to use as an ad, your video that you want to use as an ad, you would put here. And then you need to select discovery ads. Do not select the skippable in-stream ads for this. They do not work very well. I do not recommend using them. Is a bad idea because the amount of average watch time you get on them can be very low because most people are going to skip. So that can actually damage your average watch time for your channel. And we find that you don't really get many subscribers out of it. Letting people click on the video if they're interested in watching it in terms of growing your channel is much, much better. So we want these types of videos that are going to look like normal types of videos and are going to be bumped to the top. So we're literally boosting our videos to the top of the search so we can get ahead of bigger channels that we normally wouldn't be able to compete with organically. So it's massively important, and this is why in the first training video I suggested doing a shorter video and making sure that you were putting that in front of, say, the next video, because you wanted to, it's very easy to get someone to watch, say, 1.5 minutes of a 3-minute video versus 5 minutes of a 10-minute video. We want to try and keep our average watch time high without damaging our channel. So that was why we recommended that in part 1. But you're also not necessarily going to want to use a video that is already doing very well organically. If I was to use one of my videos that was doing well organically and get a lot of free traffic, I wouldn't want to use that as a video ad. I would want to create a new similar version that I was willing to use in the ad. Or, as I said, using the shorter video to put before that video so you're not really damaging the average watch time of that. Because if you were sending ads straight to a video that was already doing well organically and it reduced its average watch time, you're going to damage its organic ranking and it's not going to do as well. So that's what I recommend in terms of the types of videos you should use to actually do this strategy. Don't use videos that are already doing very well. So once done, you're going to want to put your headline here. So I could say, get more views or whatever the catchy title is going to be. And then I could have description 1 and description 2, don't know, just to put some text there. And if I would want to say, name this ad, come down and paste that there. Now what you're going to see is that probably 80% of your traffic is going to come from mobile traffic. So you're going to want to see what it looks like on both devices. But what you need to know with discovery ads is that on mobile, the only thing that's going to show up is the headline. So the headline and the thumbnail is massively important. Assuming that you've set up and done a thumbnail correctly, and again, I will put a link to additional training below this video going through the different steps and linking to thumbnail tutorials and the things you need to think about when uploading and creating your videos properly to make sure that you're already prepared for this, because in theory, you should already have a great thumbnail set up for your video. But what I want you to understand is that only on desktop traffic does description 1 and description 2 show up. So these two parts will only show up on desktop, which is probably only going to be about 20% of the traffic that your video is going to be seen by. So the most important thing is getting your title right and getting your thumbnail right to make sure that it looks good for mobile traffic. And once you're happy with that, just give everything a quick look. Make sure it is set up properly. Now looking here, it's not set up properly because we haven't added our placement yet. So what I want to do is come into the placement. So for our ad group here, the only thing I'm going to change, other than perhaps some demographics, is the channel that I'm targeting. So I'm going to come into here, I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to paste that there. And then once it shows up, I select it, it shows up here, and I can close that down, and that's it. So this ad group is targeting this channel, and that's the only thing I need to do. We've created our ad, I'm all happy now. Now I create the campaign. I go on to the campaign, and now inside this campaign, I now want to duplicate the ad group. So I select that here, I go to Edit, Copy, close this, select the Paste button. Is that the right campaign? Yes, yes, done. Select Paste. And that's probably going to take about 30 seconds to duplicate. Now, once it's done that, you are going to see the ad group here. This is the new ad group. So if I can see the campaign here, you can open and close this if you're not actually seeing it. And then I'm going to see, okay, ad group 1, and we have the new ad group 2. Now, I want to go into this ad group, and I want to select the placements. And I now want to edit the placements. We have Think Media here. What I want to do is come up and put this channel in, select channels, paste the channel, select it, and now I'll remove the other one and click Save. So now for this campaign, the second campaign, this is the channel that we're targeting. All of the other settings are exactly the same. So absolutely spot on. So now if I want to come up to this campaign, select it, and now you see that I'm in the campaign and it's showing both the different ad groups and it's showing the placements for each one. So it's got one channel that's been targeted for each of these here. Now that is it. So what I can do now is go to all campaigns. These will be approved. Once these are approved, if I come into the ads and extensions here, what you would actually see, if I select this, is you would see pending under review. Now, once this says eligible or approved, normally eligible these days, that means your ad is now approved and is showing. And what I want you to realize that until the pending part is gone and eligible appears, your ads will not be shown. But if you then do start to get a few impressions and it looks like it's started, but then stops, sometimes it can take a few days for discovery ads to get moving as YouTube is trying to work out where to show them, who's searching, who's interested. So they normally start off quite slowly and after a few days they get going. So don't start increasing your per view budget or anything like that until you're sure that that video is actually going to be working. Now, as I said, I'll put a link in the description to more troubleshooting, training, and also the access to our Facebook support group in case you've got some questions regarding any of that. So what you then want to do is come to campaigns, and what you will see here is you will see the impression rate. So here's the new campaign. I can see the number of impressions we're getting. I can see the number of clicks. I can come across, I can see if I'm getting conversions, if I have any lead generation set up. Number of views, how many views am I getting? And I can also see the subscribers earned. Now, if I go into that, I would also then be able to see this data on a per ad group for per channel that I'm targeting level. So if one was doing better than the other, then of course I could come in and pause one, and that means that the campaign, the $5 I've set up here, would only focus on the remaining channel. Now that's the easiest way to get started with Google Ads and using YouTube Ads to grow your channel, targeting the competitors. Now, if you've enjoyed that video and gotten some value, please hit the like button and consider subscribing, because we're going to be creating new YouTube marketing and YouTube growth tips each and every week. And as I mentioned before, I will put a link in the description where you can get more access to a guide that sets this up, as well as how to structure your videos, how to rank and set up your videos properly, and also access to our Facebook support group. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next training video.